All right, what's going on, everybody? The Boxing Source with the man himself, Brian Custer. What's going on?
I feel good, man. I feel great. It's fight week.
Yeah, fight week. Canelo-Charlo, big pay-per-view card coming up Saturday at the T-Mobile Arena. Man, what you thinking about these fights?
I think it's going to be great. I think it's probably one of the best undercards I think ever assembled. Action-packed. You got big names, former world title challenger, former world champions, emerging young talent, everybody ranked in the top 10. And then at the top of the card, undisputed versus undisputed. I mean, a historical matchup and one that, whomever wins is going to make some history.
Yeah, definitely going to be some history there with Canelo Alvarez and Jermell with two undisputed champions there, also with pound-for-pound implications on the line. So what are you thinking about that fight coming in?
I think Canelo, a couple of things. I think he wants to prove that, first of all, that his wrist is healthy and that he's healthy, and that the past couple of fights weren't indicative of that because they weren't healthy, according to Canelo. And he wants to show people, he's heard that people say, hey, look, he's slipping defensively. He didn't look well against Ryder. That he is, as he put it, pound for pound, still the king of boxing and the best fighter in the world. That's what he's looking to prove to Jermell-Charlo. He's heard that Charlo doesn't respect his boxing skills, and he said, I'm going to show you that I got some boxing skills and they're the best in the sport. I think Charlo's going to show him, wants to show him that you haven't faced an animal like me. I'm tall, I got power, and I can box. And it's something that you haven't faced before. And I think if Charlo can use those boxing skills, use his distance and length, he could do something I don't think a lot of people expect if you look at the odds in Vegas.
Yeah, they had the odds in Vegas. It looks like Canelo was like, minus 400 favorite or something like that. But with Charlo being the taller fighter and with the range, maybe he could go off of what happened in the Canelo-Bivol fight, using that range, using the jab, mixing up the jab up top in the body, that he could show something.
And how about this? Even you go back farther than that. How about what Erickson Lara did? Erickson Lara did a masterful boxing job. In fact, he fought it a little bit with Canelo, but he used his lateral movement in that fight. I think, if you use those, that could be a recipe for success for Jermell.
Yeah, for sure. Now, real quick on that co-feature about Jesus Ramos Jr., Erickson Lubin, 154-pound division, a very deep division, and two contenders there at the division. Of course, Jesus Ramos highly going up to the ranks there at 154 at 22 years old, and Erickson Lubin, a world title challenger. What do you think about that fight?
It's for Lubin, it's almost like, man, this is like when I faced Jermell-Charlo, and that's the way he's kind of seeing it. Like, I think this kid's bitten off a little bit more than he can chew. He ain't ready for me yet because of all of the fights that Lubin has been in and the experience that he has. I think Ramos is looking at it differently. Like, I got power, and I got skills, and I don't think everyone has seen the best of me yet, but Erickson Lubin's going to see the best of me because I'm ready to contend for the top guys at 154. Listen, when Mel steps into the ring, the WBO is going to strip him anyway, so that belt's going to be on the line. Obviously, Tim Tszyu and Mendoza are going to fight for that, but these guys feel like, hey, look, there's an opportunity for me to eventually get me a title chance to fight for that title, and that's why this fight is really important for Lubin and important for Ramos, because they could be fighting for a title next, the winner of this fight.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, there's a lot on the line there at the 154-pound division. And, given what happened on the main event, like you said, maybe those titles get split up and they could fight for, one of those major world titles. But we'll definitely see more on that and also more on the undercard. But definitely we'll be seeing more of you coming up here on Saturday night leading up to the fight on Showtime pay-per-view. And, of course, all over the place in sports, the man himself, Brian Custer.
And make sure y'all watch the Last Stand podcast as well.
That's right. The Last Stand podcast with Brian Custer. Y'all be sure to catch that. There it's going to be all over the place, YouTube, Showtime, everywhere. So y'all be sure to catch that. Thank you very much for taking the time to, speak with me. And we'll be seeing more of you here over the weekend.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah.